Hello everyone, welcome back to another devlog update for the Feathered Serpent. Playing Minecraft music in the background, just helping me de-stress. I know it's been a minute since I've posted a video, and I kind of get in my head when it comes to posting videos of like, oh, like I haven't posted in a while, and it's just, sometimes it's hard for me to make the video. It's not hard for me to stream. I stream all the time. You can even like hop on my stream when I do stream and ask me directly, hey, how's the game going? I'll probably just tell you the answer. But it's kind of different, I don't know, making a video because it's something that I will actively look back on. It's more out there. And there's definitely an audience of people who I think only watch the YouTube videos or take the time to watch the YouTube videos. So, I don't want to keep you here forever. I know sometimes these videos can go on for a long time. So, let's just get into it. What is the state of the game, The Feathered Serpent? Well, I have completed 4 areas almost entirely, and I'm working on the 5th area of the game. So the areas being the forest, completely done. The jungle, completely done. The ruins, completely done. That feels great. The city, the dinosaur city, is almost done. So there's 10 levels left that I have to make. And there's some NPC stuff that I need to do. So those kind of, those things kind of got to shape up. And maybe a couple polished things or bugs here and there. But it's pretty much there. And then the 5th area, I still have yet to make the levels. But I've designed a lot of how the area is going to look and feel. I've designed and programmed and completed a lot of the enemies. There's one enemy left, truly, that I need to still program in. And then I can start working on actually adding in levels and working on creating that 5th area. But we'll talk more about that later. Let's go over the Kickstarter and the rewards for the Kickstarter. So, people had awesome ideas for the Kickstarter. We had everything from skin ideas to new boss ideas to tons of NPC ideas. And, you know, I originally planned to finish my game in February, and I was like, I'm going to give myself an extra month, March. Because I know that I can fall behind. Sometimes things, you know, they come up. And I'm like, I'm not the best at accounting for how long something truly takes, you know. I designed a frog enemy for, it was a Twitch chat reward. And that frog enemy ended up taking 2 days almost. When it was only supposed to take like 4 hours. So when things like that happen, it's tough, and it's tough for me to gauge because obviously the more that I work on the game, the faster I get at making things. So for example, I've been doing this thing on the Twitch channel where if you watch my streams, you get channel points and you can redeem an item, and that item can be anything that you want it to be. I put some parameters around it. Hey, basic item, nothing super crazy. But I've gotten to a point where I can, from start to finish, take someone's idea, draw the item image for it, and then incorporate it into the game in like 30 minutes. Now, sometimes I take longer on them because I want to add in other little things, but like that's a huge step from when I first made the Feathered Serpent. And I think I posted a devlog and I'm like, guys, I made like 20 items and they were all food, and all they did was adjust your health, like super simple. And I was like, yeah, that's a good amount of work for a week. And I'm like, dude, like I could have done that in like 2 hours. So you can see progress there. And regarding the enemy, like I said, that frog enemy took 2 days. I then moved on to the temple enemies, and I was able to design 2 enemies in a day. Also, if you hear my bird in the background, it's just Crumb. Crumb, I hope you're doing well. This is a little bird cam. Hi, Crumb. And you can see Crumb on the stream if you'd like. So anyways, long story short, it's just hard for me to plan things out. And also another thing, just in regards to these videos, right? I'm trying to keep the starting good. I know a lot of you don't watch the whole thing or watch to the end, and that's fine. Really, these videos are cool for me to look back on because I can see like how I'm feeling at the time. Like it's kind of like an honest way. It's like journaling, right? If I journal or make videos about the events, like I can't necessarily like go back in history and rewrite that. Like this is real, it's raw. Like this is where I'm at. This is how fast I'm going. This is how I'm feeling right now. So it's cool to for me to make these videos and kind of maybe rant a little bit and show you the state of my brain. So that's one thing. When it comes to actual footage here, I don't really have time to edit videos right now, which is why a lot of the most recent devlogs have just been like this off-the-cuff kind of form of me just ranting. So once again, my apologies. If that's not the kind of content that you like enjoying and soaking in, I totally understand. And it's not going to be the case forever. It's just right now. Moving on, the game launches in 10 days. I put the date at the 25th of March to have the game release. The only thing that it will postpone that is if Steam needs more time to validate and check the game. But I'm planning on and working towards finishing the game before the 25th so that it can be out by the 25th. That's in 10 days, so I essentially have less than 10 days. Now, continuing forward, there are a few things left to do in the game. And I've outlined them here so that it's good for me to say out loud, but it's also good for people to understand where I'm at. So currently there's 2 boss fights left that I need to make. Okay, just for the initial launch of the game. There's the ending cutscene, a little bit of lore and like story dialogue that I'd like to include. There's a whole NPC, Khan. He's not going to be super present in the game, but he needs to come in. I need to design him. There's essentially 1 enemy left for me to design in the temple area. There are 2 more NPCs. One of them is from the Kickstarter. Crafty Coyote is the name of that NPC. And the other one is another NPC from the Kickstarter, which is a Quetzalcoatlus, a giant bird dinosaur. Now, I'm thinking those NPCs should be relatively simple to add in. I'm not planning on making them super big. They're definitely, they're doable. The shopkeeper, I'd like to add in a couple more lines of lore and dialogue in regards to the shopkeeper. Then I promised I would launch the game with more than 150, I said 150 plus items. Currently, I have 119 items that are just in the game right now. And so that leaves me with 31 items. But I said over 150, so I'm going to make 32 items left is how many I need to finish in these 10 days. And like I said, I can do it in about 30 minutes, like a really basic item. Some of the items I'm making are not basic, some of them that are left, but a basic one, 30 minutes. So that's pretty doable. I then have to incorporate achievements with Steam. So Steam achievements. And I have to incorporate in, which I'm hoping should be simple. It seemed simple. I'm really hoping that I mean, I know it will take time, but I'm hoping that one's simple. And then it's just polish, fixing any menus I want to fix, updating the save system, things like that. So yeah, like that's all that's left. Everything I just said. 10 days. It's a lot. That's undoubtedly a ton. I've never made that much content in 10 days. But I've gotten a lot better, and so I'm at working and at doing things. So I'm hoping that I can pull that off. I think now, I wrote out a little thing of things to go over. I think now would actually be the best time to go over what's going on right now. So the Kickstarter funds run out. March is the last month that they pay for, which is fine. I planned for that. My pesticide applicator job that I talked about a year ago started back up, and I went back. And, this was my first week back, and it has already taken way more time out of my life than I thought it would. And it already sucks because something that I really struggle with and have struggled with my whole The whole life cycle of this game is getting a job and trying to still work on the game and not being able to. It's like you go to work, even if work's only 6 hours or 5 hours, you come home and you're just drained, and it's not what you want to be doing, and you don't get 8 hours of working on the game, and progress is so much slower. And it's just really hard for me to push myself when I'm working an actual job and then coming to work on the game. I don't know why. During the lifetime of this game, over these past 3 to 4 months that the Kickstarter has afforded me to work on my game full time, I have put in 10 to 12 hours every day, 6 days a week. And lately, I've actually been working 7 days a week and putting in 3 to 4 hours on Sunday, which I have never. I usually don't like working Sundays. I believe in taking a day off, even if it's just one. And so I'm working like a lot, and it's never felt overwhelming. I've never felt necessarily burnt out. I've always just felt excited to work on my game. And so it's very frustrating to me when I work and I come home and I suddenly don't have energy to work on my game. And even today, coming home from work, like I'm like, dang, I didn't even work. I did one job today, okay? Usually I'll average 12 jobs a day. I did one job today. Very slow start. And I came home and I was like, dude, dang. Like, it's crazy how when you're doing what you love in life, like, it's almost like there's an infinite, like, well of energy and passion that you can draw on. And it's so shocking to me just how fast that gets sapped and taken from you when you're doing something that you're not passionate about and you're not super invested in and you don't want to do for the rest of your life. And it sucks that has such an effect on me, and I really wish it didn't. I'm gonna try and do my best to continue to work on this game and work on projects and push through that, and maybe I can develop new tools and ways of going about it. I've definitely learned a lot putting in those hours and learning how to work and disciplining myself. And I'm hoping that it's just another little hurdle that I can get over. But going into the long term, right? Looking forward into the future. For example, I'm planning a content update for the Feathered Serpent. I had originally planned and still am aiming for a July release. This content update is going to feature a complete fulfillment of all Kickstarter rewards. I'm going to interject right now and just say what that means. There are some people in the Kickstarter who have asked for things that would have significantly delayed the game. And also, there are people who did not get back to me in time to have their reward fit into the game. And I still want those people to get those rewards, and so introducing it in a later free content update just seemed like a no-brainer. And so I'm still going to work with those people and work on fulfilling those Kickstarter rewards and work on making a fun, kind of bigger content patch after the initial release of this game. So that's what I'm working towards for July. Just this first initial week, seeing how much I've been able to work and get done, I'm very much doubting that goal of getting that content patch out in July. And there's some different ways I could go about doing this. I could release those Kickstarter rewards instead of in one giant content patch in smaller patches to kind of keep the game alive and fresh, which I might do a little bit of. Or I would have to push out and extend that date, and I think it would probably be looking closer to a November content patch update, which is so just disappointing for me. I'm 26. I turned 27 this year. That's crazy for me. I know I don't look that old. I don't feel that old. But I think there's this part of me that wishes that I was able to work faster and that I could pursue more projects and create more things. But like I've already gone over, it's hard to balance that creativity with work and with life. And the other big factor, aside from work, which I've mentioned on my stream, that I don't think I've actually officially announced here on YouTube, is that I am having a child. My wife is currently in her second trimester. We're due in mid-July. And I'm going to be having a baby boy. We just recently found out the gender a week ago. 2 weeks ago? Maybe 3 weeks ago. So, come July, I'm taking quite a lot of time off of work, but like that might also impact how much I'm able to work on my creative projects. And this has been an awesome thing for me to do before I have family and kids. It's been so cool to make a game, and I don't want this to be the last time I make a game. I don't want this to be the last project I ever do, and I don't want the Feathered Serpent updates and Kickstarter fulfillment rewards to be just super delayed. But I always had this in my mind of thinking, hey, like I'm having a kid, my life's gonna change, and it was always in the back of my mind, this idea of this very well could be the final time or my last big effort or push to trying to do this, to try and make a game and make a living off of it and be successful and be a successful indie game dev. And I think previously I've never felt that pressure. The future's always been open, and it's not that like I'm having a kid, my life's gone. But there's a lot more responsibility and a lot less time. And all I can really do is just work hard these next 10 days, release my game, work hard on the content updates, release those, and then just let go and have life take me where it's going to take me. But I just want to say I'm so grateful that I've been able to do this. I recommend everyone, at least once in your life, you gotta find something and just send it. I don't regret putting in the 14-hour days. I don't regret, and it's hard. And it sucks at times, not just for me, but for my wife. But I don't regret like having to like cancel plans with people. I don't regret, there's so many nights where like I came to bed super late, and I couldn't spend time with my wife, and I know that that's affected us and affected her. But I'd do it again. I'm not saying like I hurt people, but like, I think it's worth it to give your all and to chase that thing that you've always wanted to do. And I don't care where you're at in your life, but like I did it, and I feel the past 5 months I've never felt more fulfilled. I've never felt more happy. I've never felt like such a joy just being able to work on my game and stream and engage with the community and create something so special and unique. It's just, I've lived my dream. And that's what's cool. That's how I'm framing the success of the Feathered Serpent. Like, I'm not here to make millions. I'm not here like, oh yeah, like, I'm gonna be the next big success. I just wanted to live my dream, and I lived it. And that's actually thanks to you. Come here. Get this. All of you, Twitch, Patreon, the Kickstarter, people who've watched these YouTube videos since the beginning, you know who you are. That's crazy, but like you. And I've tried this so many times, and every other time I was working on this game, I was working on it for the wrong reasons, and it was hard. And you could tell in those devlogs, I'm falling behind. I didn't work a lot this week. I've been pushing through anxieties. You know what? It's just been nothing but the best time of my life, hands down, the past 5 months. So that's something special. That's something that I'm that you've all given me the opportunity to do. So thank you. I think that's all I wanted to go over. I'm looking over my list. That's it. 20-minute video. You know what? It is what it is. How do I currently feel knowing that I have 10 days or less than 10 days to get all of that done? I don't know if I can, but I'm choosing to believe that I can. And I'm choosing to believe that it's gonna be okay. And I'm fine. I'm constantly having to remind myself that there's so many games that exist, like, for example, Helldivers. Just recently came out. You know, there's all these funny clips of people, they pull out the grenade and they dive on top of this giant bug. I think they're called Bile Titans or something. And you just clip through them. They just don't have a hitbox. They just don't. You'll just fall straight through them. And, you know, I've never heard any of my friends complain about that. I've never even heard it mentioned in any video. I haven't heard it brought up in any comment. It hasn't detracted. I've never seen someone speak about that negatively. And yet that's a negative thing. That's an enemy without a collision box, without a collider. It looks janky. And yet that game's fun and it's a success. And there are lots of janky things in my game and it's not going to be perfect when I release it. Excuse me. But my game's fun. I've had people put over 250 hours into it. There's a free demo. And anytime someone comes onto my stream, hey, what's this game? I just tell them, go play the demo. And every time they come back like an hour or 2 hours later and they go, dude, incredible game. Super polished. So much fun. And these are strangers. They don't owe anything to me. They could be as mean as they want. I'm very confident that I've nailed the fun factor. And so it's just this game of reminding myself, dude, it's not, there's going to be just a glorious amount of bugs. And that's fine. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Even The Binding of Isaac, the most, prominent, popular, and polished roguelike out there, when they released their Repentance update DLC to the game, it was bugged and they didn't fix it, I think, for over 6 months. Now, that was a negative thing. The community didn't like that. But that was a team of individuals, multiple people, game testers, and that happened. And I'm one person and a community. And so just taking deep breaths and letting that fact sink in of like, it's okay, Anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, what I'm feeling and thinking, because it's going to be cool to look back on. That's about all I have to say. Obviously, I'm nervous. I've got a lot to do moving forward, but I'm gonna work my butt off, and I could have made a video right now. I could have titled it, I'm pushing my game release. I could have been like, I'm not gonna do it. I want to market it more. And you know what? It's just, I just gotta release it. It's not about making a $1 billion. I'll end on this note. I listened to this amazing, I love this artist. He just has such great takes on art in life. And he talked about how he wishes sometimes that art didn't leave you with a final product, because so many people obsess about output. What is this going to be? They obsess, it's the validation of, okay, what do you think of this? They go and they show someone their art. And he wishes more people would care about the process of making art, the process of it all. And he runs classes where he gives everyone a piece of paper and only they can see it or whatever. It's positioned in a way where it's okay, you can draw anything you want. And he says, after you draw it, we're going to burn the piece of paper. Your art is not, no one's going to see it except you. You can draw whatever you want. There's no censorship. You don't have to worry about judgment. And then he just lets people draw. And he talks about his experiences with people during that process and how they feel and how they let go when they draw. Other examples are he would run things where like, hey, the tide's coming in. We're drawing or we're designing things in the sand, but the tide's going to wash it away. And he talks about how adults and children, they just kind of let go of this worry or this fear of being judged by their final end product. And they can just enjoy the creative aspects, the making of the game. And I think I've really fallen in love with making the game. I think I've discovered that. And now I just need to learn the lesson of letting go of the output, letting go of the final product, and just being okay with it. So I'm going to end the video now before I say anything else weird or cringy. I got a lot of work to do. I'm going to start work right now. It's 2:39 p.m. my time. Probably going to start streaming after this. And this is not the last video I'm going to make before the release of the game. So I probably will put out a more formal devlog, not just like a rambling of my thoughts. I'm going to try for next Monday. And we'll go from there. But thank you, everyone. And wow. It was good to get a lot of that off my chest and just let it out into the open. Also, I gotta cut my hair. Look at this. I haven't cut my hair since I started working on the game. My wife definitely says I need to cut my hair. And so, maybe when I release the game, I'll buzz my head bald. We'll see. But until then, thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. And I hope in 10 days, I'm celebrating the launch of my game with all of you. Say goodbye, Crumb. Whoa! I caught you at a cool time, Crumb. What's up? Okay. Hi, dude. See you, everyone.